Yo, 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 and hello, fam. I am so happy that you're here. And I wanted to just welcome you in for this reading of the Taurus season preview. And on the top of the hour, which is now, hopefully it doesn't take too long, but I wanted to mention that I know that I can be long-winded at times. I rewatched a video of mine just to test it out and see how it goes. But if you go to the little tool sign in the corner of your video here on YouTube, and then you go to playback speed, and then you increase it. I increased it to 2 from the normal speed. It plays out beautifully, and you're able to listen to it, and it's a swifter flow than I think I read at, because I read in flow. So I have to take time to really take in the messages and then circle them back out to everybody. So thank you again for being here. And also at the top of the hour, I just wanted to say Taurus season is going to be starting on April 20th. That's like the first official day of Taurus season. And wow, the energies are wild, and so many planets. If you can hear the scratching pose, that's my cat, Leo. He's saying hi. Yeah, he said hi. There's like 7 planets in the sign of Aries right now. They're doing a planet parade up there. It's pretty intense energy to really get this Aries energy kicked off and started. And really, sink into, the igniting of this time of this year, of different things for different people, honestly. So that's really exciting. It's kind of got this refreshing energy for me, and I really appreciate it. And with that being said, I am so excited to do this reading. I'm going to be using these. I think this might be the Circle of Life. Oh no, this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. Oh, the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. I'm really excited. Ooh, the desert came out. I don't have the book for this. I don't have the book for a lot of my decks because they were gifts, and whatever. But that's going to be the oracle for today. And then for the actual reading, it is going to be the Claire de Lune deck, I think it's called. It's very pretty imagery, very simple imagery. And I actually collaborated with a Taurus who's very close to me, and received input on which decks should be utilized for this reading. So I love you, and yeah, that's why it's these decks. Hopefully you enjoy them as much as my Taurus does. Okay. Taurus is all about earth. It's all about fixed energy. It's all about dropping into the heart center, being ruled by Venus, and strengthening that muscle. I think is really important regularly, but especially at times like this, and like 6 months from now, when seasonal affective disorder really kicks off. I think that it's like definitely that balance. So I'm excited to see what comes out for this read. Please be sure to, leave a comment, leave a like, press those buttons, subscribe and all that stuff if you enjoy this reading, and come back for more. Thank you, Source. I already got started talking about, the intentions and everything, so I'm glad that that came out first, or as one of the first things. Also, I am going to be sharing some updates soon regarding like some perks, I guess, and some treats that I'm offering, some new offerings that I'm sharing with the world. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably bring it up in the next video, and it's going to be a video between now and the next season preview. I think that doing the season previews that I have, going into it, I was like, I'm not going to do anything else, but now I feel a little differently. I feel a little more prepared. There's definitely been like a purging energy in my life, so and a renewing energy in my life. You like my hat? I love it. I'm gonna give you the full scope. Okay. Anyway, so with the first position of the season preview, so much cat hair. With the first position of the season preview, it's always the highlighted message for this season that we're forecasting. And the season is Taurus, the season of security. I also want to share some downloads, some dream downloads I had this morning. So there are things that we can do, checking details of matters to make sure that all checks are balances and all corners are secured, like locking your door or making sure your door is closed so your cat doesn't run out. I had a dream like that, and I was gobstopped because I could have sworn I closed the door. So double checking is important, I think, for everybody right now. And that's one. I'll try to remember the other one. It came before the one I just shared, so we'll see. For the second position, we have support from source. And for the third position, we have approaching this time. Of the Taurus season in 2026. Gosh, I hope y'all are doing well and that you're really keeping your heads held high and your heart's filled, and that you're not letting the harshness of life and the world get you down. For the fourth position, we have the immediate influences of the Taurus season, so that's like what we should look out for. Empress, the Emperor, a major arcana, the fourth card in the major arcana. I wasn't sure if the Emperor came out upside down. It sort of came out sideways, but I put it right side up. Since it's major arcana, I'll try to remember to read both ways of it. All right, for immediate influences, for how to stay adaptable during the Taurus season so that we're not like caught by any hardships or frustrations or confusions. My sister and her husband would always say confusion is the enemy. Seven of Pentacles. This is reversed. It came out on its head. For the sixth position, we have harmonic balance. So how do we stay in harmony with ourselves and our alignments? How do we establish and create harmony? Two cards. We got a two-kata. Okay. And then for the seventh position, we're going deeper. Let's see any other messages that we should keep in mind and look out for during this Taurus season. What should we consider? What should we be? Alrighty. What should we be considering looking deeper into at this time of the Taurus season. Thank you, Source. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Source. I am nothing without you. I appreciate your presence here. The cats are going crazy and it's so cute. I mean, they're not going crazy, but they're playing. It's really precious. 3 of Cups. It did come out reversed. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords reversed. 3 of Swords is typically about heartbreak. So maybe we're going into, like I said, this Venus ruled season with more of an open heart, more of a receptive heart, more of a goal to align toward things that are fulfilling emotionally. Also mentally with the 3 of Swords. Swords is about that mental, about that cognition, okay? So I'm going to put this bottom of the deck energy here. And then I'm going to tap into the wild archetype, wild unknown archetype, and see what the oracle energy for guidance through this Taurus season looks like. And literally it's like, what does it look like and what do I extrapolate from it? Because with the support of Source, it's very going into that primal energy, that cardinal energy from the Aries season, which is the animal. But yeah, this is 3 cards. The Sword, the Shaman, and the Bridge. Beautiful. So that is our 8th position. Let's go through and read now. If you're still here, please like. And if I'm taking a long time, go ahead and speed me up. In that tool symbol, go ahead, playback speed. I would recommend it too. It works out. All right. So for the first position of the highlighted energy of the Taurus season that we should be keeping a lookout for and be sort of like open to understanding, if not open to receiving, we have the 6 of Wands reversed. Okay, 6 of Wands usually talks about coming out of strife, coming out of hardship and going into new, refreshing existence and sense of opportunity. With the 6 of Wands being reversed, though, this may be something blocked that may be blocked because of insecurity, may be blocked because of things like just response to what's happening in the world at large, or just it's a very why even try type of energy. And so let's go into why that might be. What are the sources of support? The Star. The Star is talking about how maybe we are reflecting too much on what is going on around us. We are being too immersed in what's going on around us, and we're not giving enough energy or focus or love or attention to what is happening inside of us, how it is affecting us, okay? It's so funny because the traditional 6 of Wands, this sort of reminds me of it, like with the clearness ahead, and there's borders on the sides, but there's like all this room in the middle to to make waves in. And if we're in a state where we're staying still, no waves are going to be made. There's only going to be movement when you start to move, unless it's really windy. There's not going to be movement of, moving water is living water, right? But if you're in still water, then not only the water is it not living, but you're not living. Embrace your star self. Embrace the glory of who you are, all aspects of who you are. And I think that learning to balance that out with what is going on outside of yourself right now is most important. So that's sort of like the reading I'm about to do for the Emperor, where I'm going to offer as much of a well-rounded response, because the Emperor did come out for the approaching this time. And initially I thought it came out reversed, but then I put it upright because I like I said, I'm going to try to read it both ways. So if things are feeling like they're not, like there's nothing you can do to control them, again, go back to you. Go back to what you can control. And try to align with that and focus that and harness that. Whether that's getting into like a new book or getting into a new exercise or starting to cook, starting anything new for yourself, right? Or reinstating something that you did before that you stopped doing that brought you a sense of purpose. The Emperor definitely has a purpose and understands that. But the Emperor also has a sense of control. And I think that right now it may be feeling like for some of us that there is no sense of control or purpose in things that we do and things that we feel. And first of all, that's not true, okay? What you feel is valid, and what you think is rich. It's worth expressing, and it's worth sharing. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Again, go back to you. Stop worrying about everybody else, in that sense especially. And know that if anything is worrying you that is outside of yourself, that there is always a way to figure it out. It may take a little more research. It may take a little more searching, just in general, or effort in general. Okay, the Emperor doesn't really have to do things with much effort because he is like one of the highest, if not. The Emperor is like all of the kings in the decks combined, so he's even higher than a king. And respect a lot of the time. I forgot to open this window. I wanted to open this window and I forgot to open this window. But that's okay. That's okay. It's still nice and bright. Okay, so that is the Emperor. What matters to you? Find out what matters to you that will reinstill a sense of purpose, okay? For the immediate influences of this time, let's see what that is. Ooh, judgment. Okay, so yes, judgment. So, I mean, I feel like judgment sort of is very self-explanatory, but it's what I was just talking about. It's worrying about what other people believe when it comes to you and how you live your life and your alignment and how you find that alignment and establish that alignment. Now, there are some things, like I threw out the idea of things being good and bad a while ago. I think they're menial words for such a widespread type of application. And I think that that there may be some fear about either things that we did in the past or things that we've done recently that may be found out, that paint us in a certain light that we don't necessarily reflect or want to reflect. I urge you to be honest honest with yourself. And I urge you to be open and receptive to the possibility of things being, even though they may not feel the best, things being valid, things being honest, because that's how you work through things. Otherwise, if people are attacking you, and if you feel you're being not if you feel you're being attacked, if you know you're being attacked, if the language is very clearly attacking language or non accountable language, then that's for you to put on your judgment hat, okay? Going forward, okay? Yeah, there may be a lot of people they're set in this time to be that energy that is judging you, and all I can implore you to be is the best person that you can be, the best energy, the best, most high divine energy that you can be. That is not only now, but all the time, you know, like I posted something on Instagram the other day that was like, first it's an idea, and then it's a practice, and then it's just a matter of being. And there was a lot more in between there that I couldn't memorize, but it's all a process, and recognize that, yeah, there will be missteps in the process potentially, but it's all a matter of growth. Growth doesn't stop. Education doesn't stop unless you stop it, unless you just choose to not be open, okay? For the adaptability section, we have Seven of Pentacles reversed. I showed you the Judgment card. This is Seven of Pentacles reversed. See, they're so pretty. And it's like this fiery, smoky energy, which I love. So the Seven of Pentacles reversed is telling me, like, not to live in the past, is advising us to not live in the past of things that we have done. As much as people want to put us there and bring us there and have us live there, we have a choice to not. So I would suggest to keep affirming and keep staying true to your alignments going forward. For me, in my alignment journey, it's like it's having to notice the things that I cannot change. I'm a Black woman. I live in America. I mean, I can change that I live in America, but it takes a lot of work. Well, maybe that's something I need to change, that thought of that it takes a lot of work, and then work with that. But I'm also disabled, so that's not necessarily something I can change, but it's something that I can work with, something that I can emphasize in my life and do things to contribute to it in a way that nourishes it, my being, you know. So there are some things that I cannot change. I cannot change who my mother was. I cannot change who my father was. I cannot change any of that, you know. But the relationships between those individuals, those can change. Not the facts, but the way that they're addressed, the way that they're received, the way that I contribute. You know what I mean? So that's just an example of that. While I was reading so much in flow, I totally forgot what I was saying just now and why. The Seven of Pentacles reversed is saying that you've done enough. You've done enough. You are enough. And the cultivation that's happening right now is part of the process of you blooming into your being. That's what I feel like. All right. That's what I'm absorbing with that energy. Okay. For the harmonic balance, we got 2 cards, which is great because it's harmonic balance. Wow. Okay. Sorry if that was loud, but oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, because the other thing can be taken offensively, and I'm not trying to offend nobody up in here. The first one I saw was the Empress. And remember, we did get the Emperor for approaching this time. And this is his counterpart. And then we got the Queen of Cups reversed. Now, I don't want to be rude, like I said, but I'm going to just give it to you straight. Just because you are embodying a certain energy, or just because you understand who you are, or just because you understand the reach that you have, doesn't mean that you have to be someone who's not in your heart center. Doesn't mean that you benefit more from not being in your heart center. Okay, so I would say that whatever we are going toward, to do so with love, to the love of all and to the harm of none. That has been my little slogan lately. Okay, my big slogan. That's big stuff. Like, I think that especially in these times where empathy, the conversation around empathy is so dynamic and so polarized, yeah, I think that it's important to understand that actually, yeah, loving is a positive thing. Obsession, that's different. Obsession can be very dangerous, and we see that in the power obsession of the world, that the world continuously offers us, okay? At the same time, you could be someone who's not as emotional and still be an incredible leader. Okay, so one thing I could not stand about, like, people talking about women leaders is that they be too emotional to lead or whatever. And I feel like that's not the case. That's not the case at all. I think that it doesn't honor women. Just thinking that, just to compose that thought. And with both the Queen of Cups and the Empress showing up, I feel like it's definitely asking you to nourish and honor the feminine, the divine feminine aspect. Things may be off balance, though. They're the same woman. The fluidity of things may not be loving, may not feel loving. The flow of things may not feel loving in this time of Taurus season. But as long as you have yourself, Empress, as long as you have your own understandings and your alignments and your understanding of where your alignments are and who's aligned with you, what's aligned with you at this time, I think that you're going to do well. And I think that part of that is embracing that divine feminine aspect. Okay, the seventh position of going deeper, we have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so this may not be so much of a group effort, right? This embodying of self is not necessarily a group effort. It's not necessarily work you can do with other people to be effective. If you're not working on yourself, then you're just wasting time. If you think the work is over, I feel like that's also the Queen of Cups reversed with the Empress. If you think the work of working on yourself is over, or the work of educating yourself, or of receiving education, or of receiving love is over, then you sort of screw yourself in that sense. You're not being very kind to yourself. And if we're not kind to ourselves, how can we expect anyone else or any system or anybody else to be kind to us? You know what I mean? It all starts with us. We are the building blocks of the communities that we're in. We are the sparks that set these flames that are, set in our not set, but that are set, but that ignite the community and ignite ourselves. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go into the bottom of the deck energy is the Three of Swords. So both threes came out reversed. And that is letting me know that where there has not been like maybe emotional regulation, that there is still fulfillment to be had, so that you're not just draining and leaking out rather, and wasting, understanding and going toward fulfilling aspects that and opportunities that you approach or that come to you at this time, to really fall into those, to really give yourself a chance. Okay. For the wild unknown archetype, clarifying oracle and guidance oracle, we got 3 cards. We got number 38, the bridge. It's like the star in the water. Hold on, let me try to. The star energy is in the middle of this bridge energy, where it's like you started the process, now just keep going. Like it's all, you're in the middle of the bridge. And that's like that stagnant energy that I think I was feeling, like the naysaying energy, where it's like, why is it even worth it? This is normal. This is normal to feel these things. Like, I can't tell you how often I felt like defeated, and how I've had to take a break. And if I want to go back to something, I've had to readjust my approach. Just like with the head of this video, like I was saying, I was only going to do the season previews for this entire year, but like things are shifting, and I am so excited to expand. Which also the star can mean expansion. So don't be afraid of expansion. Don't be afraid of all of that entails. Just be cognizant and be discerning, okay? We have the shaman, number 16. Who is number 16 in the tarot? It's not the star. Is that the hangman? No, that's number 12. I cannot think of the major arcana, but the shaman, it reminds me a lot of the magician. I like that. It has like this snake, so there's this renewal energy, 3 skulls lined up. I feel like it's about rebirth, and making the rebirth magical, making the rebirth something worth witnessing, something worth putting energy into. That's what I feel like this hand at the top is doing, putting energy into creating. This may be a great time for creating. Every time is a time for creating if we want to create. But this may be a very effective period of creation during Taurus season. Okay. Lastly, for the oracle, we have the sword. Okay. I feel like this is really talking about management, whether of time, of energy, of, just all those practices that supplement us. Management is needed in order to sustain, so that when we do get to those places that's like, oh, why is it even worth it, or what's the use, we can take a break. Like, there's literally a break here. Literally a break in this. So I think it's about balancing and learning the truth of the matter. I feel like swords and tarot and even oracle a lot of the time represent the truth, the clarity. And I think it's important for us to pace ourselves and literally take a break when we need to, and maybe plan it out beforehand. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is and it's funny, it's all on top of these 3 cards. The shaman is on top of the Empress, the sword is on top of the 3 of Cups, and the bridge is on top of the Queen of Cups, reversed. And also the 3 of Cups reversed. All right. So Yeah, I think that's the conclusion of the reading. The bottom of the deck for the oracle is the animal. And I think this is more tying to like the discernment and the natural knowing of what is for us and what aligns with us. Because animals know. I don't know how many times that my partner has cut onions and they fall on the floor just to be on the floor for like a day because my cats will not eat it. Will not, like, they eat off the floor often, like hair and popcorn remnants and things like that. But like when it comes to like the things that will harm them, they don't eat it, which is great. Like they haven't even been interested. Of course they don't eat it, but they're interested in everything we eat. And I let them smell most of the things that are consumed. But the energy of them not even being interested is amazing to me. First, for the things that actually would harm them. So, discernment. Okay? Practice discernment. It's important, especially at times like these. All right, I'm going to keep going and record for the signs. I will hopefully upload these videos in the next few days. And thank you again so much for sticking around. And I hope that you're doing well and stay beautiful and stay blessed and stay bright. Make sure that you remember to be love and to stay light and that you got this. Thanks again. That's it. Stay beautiful.